Sleep is critical for health and longevity, and there's so many factors that contribute to getting a good night's sleep. So if you're someone who doesn't sleep well, I highly recommend that you get a sleep tracking device so that you can begin to data drive your sleep. My favorite one is the Oura Ring. I've used it for years now, and I used to have really bad sleep. When I went into perimenopause and then early menopause, I had horrible sleep. Now I can tell you that I have excellent sleep, and it's taken me a while to get here because I had to micromanage all aspects of my life in order to ensure that I could sleep well. And so here's what works for me. I need to exercise on a regular basis. I have to exercise at least 5 days a week, because if I don't, I think that stress accumulates in my body and that begins to disrupt my sleep. The other thing I found to be helpful is to wake up in the morning and go outside shortly after the sun rises. That exposure to bright light in the morning hooks your body and aligns it with the circadian rhythm of the earth. So your body is told that it's morning when the bright light goes into your eyes, and that actually helps you wind down for sleep when the light levels start to fall at night. And you don't want to do anything to thwart that process, like overexpose yourself to blue light coming from screens and other electronic devices at night. So you want to minimize blue light in the evening. And then you want to pick a bedtime that's a good bedtime for you. And you want to stick to it for the most part. You know, there's going to be exceptions, but you do ideally want to stick to it. And if you're one of those people that's like a full-on night owl and you just get distracted and kind of like off on tangents at night and can find yourself going to bed, you know, past midnight oftentimes, I would highly recommend you set an alarm for yourself. I have a friend who has to set 3 alarms. So she sets one that says, okay, it's time to wrap up what I'm doing. 2, I need to be in the bathroom getting ready for bed. 3, I need to be in bed and turning off the light. So this has really helped her get to bed at a regular time every night that is right for her. But for me, that's not so hard, but I have to get to bed at a regular time. And then the other thing I found to be critical is to focus on what you eat for dinner. I found I need to have my most complex meal of the day needs to be at dinner. I need to have protein, fats, a little bit of carbohydrate, fiber at dinner, and that seems to keep my blood sugar steady throughout the night. The time of eating dinner is also very important, and it's going to be unique for each individual. Some people don't sleep well if they eat too late and too close to bedtime. Other people don't sleep well if they eat too early and their blood sugar dips in the middle of the night. So you have to figure out what is the right time for you. The other thing is good is to pay attention to your cutoff time past which you're not going to ingest caffeine during the day. And also be careful of things like dark chocolate, because it also has a high degree of caffeine and caffeine relatives that are called methylxanthines that can interrupt your sleep. And then finally, it's important to have some way of clearing the stress of your day that's like a meditative process. I ideally recommend you do it before you go to bed, kind of do a review of the day, and just kind of ground off any stress that's left over in your body before you go to bed. And have a practice, perhaps also in the morning, where you kind of set yourself up to be more centered for the day. That will allow you to get less stress during the day and then have better sleep quality at night. It's also important to be mindful of the temperature in your room. Your body naturally should go down in temperature at night. And so if the room is too hot, you're going to thwart that natural process that allows you to get into deeper sleep. So I personally sleep with a window open most of the year and turn my heater off at night. And I find that I sleep so much better if I do that. Another thing to pay attention to is Wi-Fi in your house. A lot of people's sleep is affected by Wi-Fi radiation, particularly if their bedroom is close to the Wi-Fi router. So I highly recommend that you put your Wi-Fi on a timer. That's what I do. So we put it on a timer, it goes off at 10:30, and then it comes back on at 6 a.m. So that's something you can do. You can set it to whatever time works for you. But you will have a deeper sleep, and I've data-driven this with my Oura Ring off and on throughout the years and found that absolutely I will sleep better when I turn my Wi-Fi off at night. You may find there's other factors that I'm not even aware of, but why don't you start paying attention? Because it's not just how much time did you sleep? It's how much time did you spend in deep sleep? How much time did you spend in REM sleep? How many times did you wake up at night? How much time did you spend awake at night versus sleeping? Because ideally what you want is to make your sleep more efficient so that you get higher quality sleep in a shorter period of time. And that is going to allow you to have a better day and a longer, healthier life.